And then this brings us on to this famous hadith Qudsi that people are probably familiar with. And you can translate this in different ways. Ana inda dhanni abdi bi. I am according to the assumption, or how else is it often translated? I'm according to the belief or assumption or opinion of my servant. I.e., the way that we perceive God has a huge ramification on how we actually relate to him. So it's really important that we have, we really explore how we relate to God. Like, do we see him as like this tyrannical God that's just waiting to punish us? Do we see he's a nurturer and he's taking us through our life, teaching us and guiding us and being able to, and helping us grow in our life? Like, what is our relationship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we really connect to him? And when do these things come up in our day-to-day when we maybe fall short, or other people say things about our relationship with God, i.e. God must not love you, or, I'm not going to forgive you on the day of judgment and God's going to curse you for treating me like this. And almost people become barriers between God and their servant. And so it's really important we explore our relationship with God, not just in a ritualistic way, i.e. through prayer and through fasting, but also in a way that we actually think, how are we connecting to him? And that connecting can be, the starting point for that can be, I feel disconnected from God. Well, that's relating to God. We can start at that point, that I feel disconnected. Let's explore that disconnection. And I'll take you on a process. Hopefully at the end, I'll give you an example of how we could explore that at the end of this presentation. So there's a really beautiful hadith here. I am with them when they make mention of me. So when you make mention of God, what comes up for you? When you say Allah, do you feel this sense of distance? Do you feel this sense of fear? Do you feel this sense of solace? Like, what's your experience? And when you do those things that are going on for us as a means to actually take us near to God, which can seem like a paradox. You say, I feel distant to God. Well, there you go, I'm finished now. There's no going forward with that. No, let's explore that then, that distance that you feel, or that feeling that he's not pleased with you, etc., etc. And let's really explore the reality of that, rather than these preconceptions that we may have about him. And so if they make mention of me, if they, I the servant, makes mention of me to themselves, I do so to myself. There's this relationality between the servant and his Lord. And if they make mention of me in a group, I make mention of them in a group, better than theirs. And if they draw near to me a handspan, I draw near an arm's length. And this is what I suppose this is the big major theme, the takeaway I want from this, you to take away from this, is this back and forth relationality that we have in our life, a very real and felt tangible thing, where we are trying to figure out where Allah is trying to take us and how he's speaking to us in our lived life. If you draw near to a handspan, and then he says, then an arm's length, I will come. And if then they draw near to me an arm's length, I draw near to them a fathom. So this gradual growth in Allah coming close. And he always does, you come one, I'll give you two, if you think about it. Handspan, arms. You sit, and then arm, so there's this always doubling. You do one, I double it. And then if I draw, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this hadith Qudsi relates, and if they come to me walking, now there's movement, there's momentum behind you in your experience. I come to them at a quicker pace, like almost running. So you'll see these traditions we have that talk about this interrelationality between the servant and maker, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is everywhere around us in a way. What I mean is that we can experience Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.